For me, it was the anxiety of knowing my entire retirement was locked up in the stock market. I personally did not feel comfortable with that, so I went looking for alternatives.
That feeling is more common than you think.
Get ready to reclaim your life, discover inspiring stories, practical tools, and the path to true happiness. This is Reclaim Your Life with Irina. Let's begin the journey. Give the woman in your life something that truly matters, or better yet, give it to yourself. The gift inside is for every woman who spent decades being everything to everyone else. It's time to remember who you are and rediscover your happiness. This isn't just a book, it's a permission to put yourself first again. Available now, because the best gift you can give is helping someone find themselves. Welcome to Reclaim Your Life with Irina. Today we have a special guest, Ben Rusk. Ben has spent over 30 years working the rivers and back country of Montana, Washington, and Alaska, mining gold the old-fashioned way with patience, grit, and his own two hands. After a decade in the IT world, he made a bold decision to move his entire retirement into gold-backed assets, choosing something tangible, stable, and real in uncertain times. Today, he helps families protect what they worked so hard for and think differently about what true wealth actually means. Welcome, Ben, to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here today.
Yeah. So please share with us, was there a moment where you realized the way most people are handling their financial future might not actually be safe? And what shifted for you?
Well, for me, it was the anxiety of knowing my entire retirement was locked up in the stock market. I personally did not feel comfortable with that, so I went looking for alternatives. And what I stumbled across was something called a gold-backed IRA, which allowed me to leave my money in an IRA, but have it backed by something a little more tangible, something a little more predictable, and, something that was valued around the world. And I chose gold and silver. And so, having done that, my experience for myself has been that my retirement account has doubled because the value of gold and silver since I bought it has doubled. And just, that's been my personal experience. I'm not a financial advisor or tax consultant. Please have your audience consult their professionals. But, a lot of people, feel like it's a risk and they haven't taken the risk to evaluate other alternatives. I did it and I benefited from it. So that's what I'm sharing is my experience with other people.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Many people feel financially stressed. They feel unsafe and uncertain about the future. From your perspective, what actually creates a sense of stability, not just on paper, but emotionally?
Well, for me, it's actually holding gold and silver in your hand. That reduces my stress, knowing that I have something that I can negotiate for food. If times get tough, if emergencies pop up, I have something tangible in my hand that's valuable and doesn't contain sentimental value. So it's easily utilized in a transaction with no regret.
Fair enough. You physically mined gold and also worked in corporate IT, two very different worlds. How did that shape your definition of what real wealth actually is?
Well, like I said, trading time for money doesn't really get anybody anywhere fast, because you only have so much time to trade. When you're able to take a hobby like prospecting for gold, you realize that you now own a skill that allows you to pull money out of the ground at will. And once you know that it's there and you know how to get it, you lose that fear of ever being broke again in your life, because you always have that piggy bank sitting out there in the woods just waiting for you to come and collect.
Totally. Yeah. For someone who feels they're constantly in survivor mode, just trying to get through the months, how do they even begin thinking about long-term security or generational wealth without feeling overwhelmed?
Well, that's where, the program that I offer comes in, because it allows you to start buying gold and silver for as little as $1, right? So everybody can afford it on any budget. It's just something you have to set it on an automatic subscription or set an alarm in your clock that once a week, it's something that you want to do. Dollar cost averaging into gold and silver is a very simple way to stack your wealth and acquire gold and silver.
Are there any fees associated with that in addition to, let's say, $1 per week, you said?
The only fee is the price you actually pay for gold and silver. With the program that I have, you can buy gold and silver fractionally. You can store it in our vault, with no storage fees up to $500 in value. There's a one-time upgrade of $199 for lifetime unlimited storage in the vault. So that's the only fee that's available, is just the upgrade fee to increase your storage capacity. One-time payment of $199. And then you have lifetime unlimited storage to store your gold and silver. You can liquidate it, have the cash back in your bank within 1 to 3 business days, and always have access to your emergency fund.
Is there any kind of monthly requirement that you have to maintain and that you have to invest?
No, just once a year you have to make a transaction. That's all.
Okay. All right. Thank you. If someone listening right now feels like I worked so hard, but I don't feel secure, what's one simple step they can take to start protecting their future in a more grounded way?
Grab a complimentary account and start buying gold and silver today. For as little as $1, you could own a little bit of silver or a little bit of gold and just make it a habit to buy some every week, and whatever amount fits your budget. And you will begin to feel safe knowing that you have that emergency fund building for yourself.
Very well. Thank you. What is your superpower if you had to pick one?
I guess my superpower is just explaining things to people very simply so that it's easy for them to understand where they're at, what possibilities lie ahead, and where they're going. That's why my community is set up for people to come and join me on a daily call, so that they can ask me questions and start to feel comfortable with where they're putting their money, where they're putting their wealth.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For somebody who knows nothing about investing or who's like afraid or has any stigma about it, what can you tell them?
Look, gold and silver's been around for 5,000 years, right? What was the reason these two metals were selected to represent wealth, money, right? Well, it goes back 5,000 years. You remember that periodic table we all studied in school? Well, there are like 118 elements on that periodic table. Well, if you take away all the gases, all the things that corrode or burst into flames or dissolve, you take away all the radioactive materials, you're left with 5 elements: gold, silver, rhodium, platinum, and palladium. Rhodium and palladium weren't discovered till the 18th century, so that rules them out as early money. Platinum has a melting point of 3,000 degrees, well outside the furnaces of the early days. So that left only gold and silver. And that's why those two elements have remained money, a sound investment for over 5,000 years. And that's why banks and institutions hoard that those metals today, right? They keep telling you, do what the institutions are doing. What are the institutions doing? They're collecting gold and silver while telling you, put your money in the stock market. That's not what the institutions are doing. They're having you put your money in there while they put their money into gold and silver. Now, there's lots of stories out there that'll tell you how much they're acquiring and how often they're acquiring, but it is a steady purchase on the institutions and banks. Every week, they're buying more gold and silver. And so if you want to do what the institutions are doing, open up a free account and start putting a couple dollars a week away into gold and silver, and make sure that your wealth is protected just like the institutions.
Totally. Thank you. What was the moment in your life that you kind of went onto that route? What contributed to you starting exploring this?
Well, after 35 years in IT, I decided I had reached my career goal. And so I needed to go find something else to do. So I basically turned my hobby and my knowledge into my next opportunity. And that opportunity came along, just by casually talking to people and finding out what was new. And what I found was an industry of gold and silver, which I'd already been in for 46 years, actually had a business side to it. And I was able to answer anybody's questions about gold and silver. So I just felt very comfortable there, establishing myself as the gold and silver guy. So I'm always happy to talk about gold and silver. If anybody has any questions, just feel free to reach out to me. You can reach me at gold@benrusk.com, or you can go to my website, silvergoldlegacy.com, and we can talk about, how to leave a legacy for future generations.
Totally. I love it. What are the most frequent questions that you hear people?
What's better, gold or silver? There's a mathematical formula for deciding based on the price of them today, which one is better to invest in at the moment. And there's a process, well-established process for how to manage your gold and silver over time. You don't want to just leave it in one metal or the other. You want to use the pricing, the ratio between the two metals to move your money back and forth between gold and silver to increase your wealth. And I talk to people about that on my daily show. Just go to silvergoldlegacy.com and register for the community, and you'll be invited to my daily Zoom call, and we can dive into all the interesting facts that are available about gold and silver.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Is there anything I haven't asked that you would like to share?
What's next, right? Wealth is a fleeting thing if you don't manage it and you don't have a strategy. So, we have this digital world in crypto coming up, and it's something that people need to explore and get to understand. And that's one of the things we talk about, the basic terminology of these crypto projects and what there is to work on and do. And so, gold and silver may fund your next opportunity or your next passive income project. And that's why I want to invite people to the daily show. Come visit our community. Learn about what's happening in the crypto world, because a lot of people are doing that. They're trading their time for money, and it's dragging them down. Why not own some assets that work for you while you're sleeping?
Yeah, totally get you. Like you said, there is only enough hours in a day.
Yeah. And why not have multiple streams of income working for you while you're out playing?
Yeah. So do you have any other streams of income other than gold and silver?
Yes, I have crypto projects. Some of my hobbies work out very well. I can teach people how to pan for gold. I can teach you how to use a metal detector, and I can teach you, based on my, 35 years of IT skills, how to use, blockchain technology and crypto projects to actually earn money while you're doing other things.
Is there any book that you can recommend on a subject that kind of inspired your journey, or maybe you wish other people knew about?
Yeah. I talk to people about The Power of One More by Ed Milet. And basically, it's the concept of breaking your day up into multiple shifts, right? So often we say, oh, I got to get something done today, right? Well, yeah. And if you get one thing done today, you'll get 7 tasks done in a week. However, if you break your day up into shifts, maybe you get 3 tasks done a day. Now you got 21 tasks done a week, where somebody else only gets 7. So if you can break up your day and learn how to use the power of one more to get something else accomplished in a day, even if it's just learning something. It's like you need to start taking control of your day and your time and making sure you're getting the most out of life.
I love that advice. For me, it was The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Do 1 degree better than you did yesterday, and a year later you'll be 65 degrees better than
Absolutely.
when you started. Little, like baby steps, then produce great results,
Right.
because you're being consistent.
And that's called The Slight Edge, right?
Yes, by Jeff Olson.
All right.
This is the book.
Got it. I think I have that on audiobook.
Cool. All right, awesome. Thank you so much for coming on to the show. It's been a pleasure to have you, and I love that you discovered this amazing passive income opportunity. Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you very much for having me on the show. And again, if your audience would like to go and get a complimentary gold and silver account that allows you to buy gold and silver for as little as $1, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just go to silvergoldlegacy.com and you can grab your complimentary account there.
Right. Thank you so much. We'll include everything in episode notes. It's
All
been
right.
a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure being here.
Maybe this isn't about having more. Maybe it's about feeling grounded in what you already have and what you're capable of creating. You don't need to figure everything out today. Just take one small step toward feeling a little more secure. That's where everything begins. And if this episode spoke to you, take a moment to leave a review or share it with someone who might need to hear this too. You can also subscribe so these conversations continue to support you one step at a time.